are again. I've told you many times, ISIS has published my photograph in their magazine, very, very professionally done, beautiful magazine, Dabiq 7, and just go to page 59 and you'll see my picture where they want to kill me. Right there I am. That's the picture of me. They want to kill me, they want to kill my wife, they want to kill my son. Now what we're talking about today is Islam, drugs, drug cartels, killing, murdering people, using drugs and drug cartels to fundraise globally, not just in Europe, not just in the United States, not just in the Middle East, not just Africa, not just Australia, but everywhere. In the state of California, we have marijuana is legalized now for any use you want to use it for. And it says, can't we all just get a bong? Can't we all just get a bong? And what's going on, as we've been doing this in California, now we have the Democratic Party, which I will show the picture of Charles Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, and other people in the Democratic Party. They are welcoming refugees into the United States. Why are they doing it? Well, they need more votes. They need more votes. They need more votes to win back the presidency and Congress and whatnot, so they're welcoming into everywhere. But as they bring in these immigrants, primarily the drug cartels and the Muslims, which are coming across, they're already here. And in these sanctuary cities, we get a lot of violence. Islam and the drug cartels are made perfect for each other, which brings us to clip number 11. Clip number 11.
This program shows drugs being made, sold, and used. It features graphic content that may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Right now, there's a high demand. We're getting ready to push some crystal meth up.
Tiny is the first point of call for cartel mules crossing the border east of Laredo. He's expecting a new shipment to send up the line. Tiny's mule is stateside, waiting for a signal to move.
We're gonna look out for cops or state troopers or border patrol.
Tiny's man checks the route to make sure it's clear.
Well, we'll usually just call and let them know that's a lot of dirties, or scums, or black and whites, however you want to call them. You'll see them.
Suddenly, he spots something.
We got an undercover behind us. You gotta have nerves of steel for this.
He thinks it's cops in an unmarked pickup truck. If he's right, he's got big problems. The cops pass.
You see? He drives them trucks right there, man. Dressed like civilians.
The U.S.-Mexican border is ground zero for narcotics heading north from all countries south. It's highly guarded, but porous. A starting line for a game of chess, pitting drug traffickers against U.S. law enforcement. When the scout reports in, Tiny makes the call.
Hey. Yeah, it's clean, man. Call me when you get through. We'll send different people in different vehicles.
That's the beginning. Clip number 5. Clip number 5, the drug cartels and ISIS, the Muslim Brotherhood, working together to get cash. Clip number 5.
Although Al-Qaeda, Hezbollah, and Hugo Chavez differ in many ways, they share a common enemy, the United States. And according to U.S. officials, drug smuggling also connects and helps fund these dangerous networks. West Africa is the center of their interest in this multi-billion-dollar business.
Virtually every flight that goes to West Africa today that is bearing cocaine or other drugs is coming from Venezuela.
Former State Department official Roger Noriega says Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez is well aware that drug shipments are flowing from his territory.
We have explicit evidence, and our government has sanctioned Venezuelan officials who have been involved in drug trafficking. So we know that the regime is complicit. for years, and that Chavez has to have knowledge and approve of this sort of trafficking.
He says Chavez has long-standing ties to Colombian drug traffickers.
It's well established that even before he was president, he had ties to these guerrillas and to the narco traffickers. And he has basically made Venezuelan territory readily available to them.
According to recent reports from both the United Nations and the U.S. State Department, Venezuela has become a major trafficker to Europe and elsewhere. An African government official with intimate knowledge of the transatlantic drug trade explained West Africa's part in this equation to CBN News. Thousands of drug shipments depart each year from northeastern Venezuela en route to West Africa. Some arrive through clandestine flights and others by fishing vessels. Once they arrive in West Africa, the drugs are transported northward to their final destination, Europe, where demand for cocaine is skyrocketing. Rudy Atala is a former Africa counterterrorism director for the Department of Defense. He says once the drugs arrive in Africa, Islamic terrorist groups are often waiting in the wings.
Al-Qaeda basically charges for the passage of the drugs through their territory.
Thanks to a global crackdown on its funding sources, Al-Qaeda is increasingly turning to drugs to finance its operations. 3 Al-Qaeda agents from North Africa recently pleaded guilty to drug smuggling and terrorism charges in a U.S. federal court. They admitted to working with Colombian drug traffickers.
That access to money gives them capabilities in the future to attack soft targets in Africa. And the soft targets could be U.S. embassies, Israeli embassies, French, UK embassies.
Al-Qaeda is following the example of its fellow Islamic terror group, Hezbollah, which has used drug money to fund its operations for years.
Hezbollah spread all across West Africa, starting from Senegal. They have a vast array of connections with the drug dealers. And so it's a natural flow where you have facilitation by Hezbollah in Africa to move drugs coming from Latin America and West Africa and up into Europe.
The drug trade is just one of many revenue streams for Hezbollah in Africa.
Hezbollah is involved in the diamond trade, they're involved in gold, they're involved in every smuggling business you can get your hands on. All the money that Hezbollah makes always goes to Lebanon, southern Lebanon, to support war against Israel, to support their agenda.
Noriega says that ultimately the nexus between drugs and terrorism originates in our head.
So we have been discussing that the drug cartels and the Muslim Brotherhood, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, they're all involved in it, not just in Venezuela, not just in West Africa, not just in Europe, but the global network of any way at all that the Muslim Brotherhood, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, the drug cartels can get money. You know, the love of money is the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. You know, in Ecclesiastes 10:19, it talks about food and wine, and then it says money solves all problems. Well, it does. If you use money as a tool, not the love of money, not the greed, the corporate, I don't want to use the corporate greed, but these guys they're criminal corporations. Mafia is involved in this. The drug cartels, ISIS, all these people are all involved in this, and it goes back to jihad. It goes back to dawah, spreading the Islamic caliphate globally. This is all linked together. Hezbollah, Hamas, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Iran. It doesn't matter if you're Shiite or Sunni. They're all doing this. Hashish, the root word for assassin, was used by the Muslims 14 centuries ago, because the hashish, a lot of the Islamic Muslim soldiers in jihad were scared to go out there and take on whoever they were going to attack, so they would smoke hashish. And as they attacked, especially in Spain, the root word of assassinate, assassinar, assassino, murderer, was based on hashish, because when the Spanish people, when they were conquered by the Muslims coming from Arabia over the top of Africa, through the Straits of Gibraltar, and then they conquered Spain, then the people of Spain quickly learned when they smelled hashish being smoked in the morning, they knew immediately they were going to be attacked by the Muslims, and that's where the hashish became murder, murder, assassinate, assassin. All of that wrapped together. It's been going on for a long time. It's not just local, it's global. So as I expose over the years, ISIS came to watch me, and from this TV program, ISIS is watching me. They don't like what I say because I'm telling the truth. And intelligence agencies are watching this program and learning what I say. I was involved in military intelligence as a young man, 18 years old in Vietnam, fluent in Vietnamese, working virtually surrounded by the North Vietnamese Army. And that's where I learned my ability to do human intelligence gathering. And in fact, I ended up being hired by Major General Mad Dog Mattis, who's now the Secretary of Defense, because of what I had learned. And when he went to Battle of Fallujah II in 2004, his staff said, hey, we used to have these guys who were very successful in Vietnam. One thing led to another. One of my friends was on the staff for General Mattis, and he got me to come down and explain to 1st Marine Expeditionary Force at Camp Pendleton, California, 1st Marine Division, how we were so successful. As a result, I was hired. So I do have some background in military intelligence. I do have good credentials, having actually done it. More than being a PhD candidate, more than reading books, I was there. They write the books about what I did, but I don't have the credentials. It's so humorous to me, ironic, that I cannot get hired by any of our defense intelligence agencies, even though they write about what myself and my other contemporaries did in Vietnam. Very funny. But the point is, ISIS doesn't like what I do because I exposed them. So in this publication, Dabiq, D-A-B-I-Q, number 7, there's a space between Dabiq and the number 7 on page 59. Then you will see my picture that they want me killed. The FBI got involved with the sheriffs and everybody else. One of the things that really pisses off the ISIS is that I mock Muhammad. I mock Muhammad because I think he's a fruit king. I think Muhammad was a murderous thug, assassin, pedophile, necrophilia, probably homosexual too. We have all the proof, evidence, and facts. And this really makes ISIS mad. Well, you know what, ISIS? Go to hell. I don't care what you think. I think you're humorous and stupid. In fact, ISIS, I'm still alive. And you did this publicizing me 3 or 4 years ago. And so I like to sing this song, and I dedicate this song to the stupidity and futility of ISIS. We are making great strides understanding and learning as Islam becomes more exposed step by step through their suicide bombings, murders, working with the drug cartels, and with bringing in the terrorists for more voters for the Democratic Party in the sanctuary cities. So, here we go. I'm singing this for ISIS, and ISIS, if you got the balls and you want to come and kill me, hey, you won't be the first guy who's ever trying to kill me. I was doing that in Vietnam as an 18-year-old kid. Oh, Muhammad, Allah Akbar, you beat the girls all black and blue. You're a wild man, such a madman, oh, Muhammad, it is true. In a cavern without Khadijah, drinking camel pee, you know, dwelt Muhammad, dreadful prophet, and his silly old burro. Hee-haw, hee-haw, hee-haw. Hey, Islam, ISIS, go to hell. I'm tired of you. People are getting tired of you. 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now, people will look back. I'm keeping all of my discs, all of my programs. I've got them all in a safe spot. So my relatives, my children, my grandchildren will have them, and they can publicize them. And years from now, this not only will be very entertaining, but people would say, wow, why didn't the FBI, CIA, Republican Party, Democratic Party listen to this guy? Hey, joke's on you. All right, so back to the Democratic Party and the sanctuary cities, which are enabling, aiding, and abetting Sinaloa, Los Zetos, ISIS, Hezbollah, Hamas in Los Angeles, in New York, in Texas, and Albuquerque in New Mexico, in Alaska, in Hawaii, in Australia, in France, in Africa, all over the world. Okay, clip number 12. Clip number 12.
I'd also like to thank Mayor Garcetti for being here today and for finally declaring that Los Angeles is a sanctuary city for all people. This is a bit overdue, but as we say, better late than never.
We need to know that this city will be a sanctuary city for these immigrants the way that they deserve it to be.
That's right.
Thank you. There are folks caught up in deportation proceedings who have no lawyer, who have no advocate for them. This administration is going to try to deport millions of them by denying them.
So at the same time, they're legalizing, they have past tense legalized marijuana. Now I'm talking to a couple of my security people that I know who actually have been contracted for the farmers in California for providing security for the marijuana farms. Now this all, I said to them, gee, I have a hunch that Sinaloa, Los Zetas, and other terrorist elements probably have purchased these farms. And the guy, without stopping, I know him real well, shook his head and said, yeah, by the way, for 40 acres of marijuana farm in California, the charge is $45,000 a month for security. That's primarily electronic security with electronic warnings, cameras, and things of that nature. Clip number 13. Clip number 13. And we know over these shows, we know for a fact, while ISIS may be being beat up and pretty small now back over there in the Middle East, they have spread their philosophy. You know, what did Muhammad do? 22 verses of the Quran with dawah, spreading Islam, dawah. The Christians do it by evangelizing and talking to people and leading them to Jesus. And the Muslims, they try that, and when that doesn't work, then they go to jihad. So they have economic jihad, they have battle jihad, where they kill you, economic jihad. All of this stuff woven together. It's global. Wherever you find the Muslims in 57 countries, all over the world, you will find that they're involved with the drugs and the drug trades. They're working with gold. We talked about that, with oil, doing human organ, murdering people in Kosovo, Albania, Bosnia. So they're doing that. Here we go. This is, you've got Albania and Islam. Here's Albania, and showing all the drug routes going all over the world and whatnot. In Afghanistan, again, here in Afghanistan, you've got Islam. You've got Afghanistan, Iran, Pakistan, India. You got China. And so these guys are sending the money. They do it by doing Hawala, H-A-W-A-L-A, Hawala. And Hawala is impossible to track down because there's no exchange of money that's recorded electronically. They have two intermediaries between terrorist A, terrorist B, and they go and get, say, drugs or sex slaves, and they get the money in cash from gold and oil, extortion, threatening people, kidnapping people and ransoming them, and that's how they fund themselves. And then they'll take the cash and they'll buy businesses like marijuana farms and things of that nature, casinos, car dealerships, especially used car dealerships. We have 300 Iranian used car dealerships in the United States. They ship their cars over to West Africa. sell it to the Africans, and they use the money to kill soldiers who are trying to stop the spread of Islam. Here you have a global map of the major drug routes. Again, it's Islam that's all over the place. So you got South America, North America, you got Africa, you got Europe, you got Australia. It's all woven together. It's been going on for 1,400 years with the Islamic navies, the Battle of Lepanto. They were using the navies. They were using hashish, all of that stuff. Again, it starts with South America, from Colombia here in South America, and then it goes over to Africa, and then it goes to Europe. It goes everywhere, and it's all Islam. It's how they fund it. They have it in Islam. Again, the drug trade in Indonesia, Singapore, Malaya. Now, these countries here were conquered hundreds of years ago by the Muslims, the jihadists. This is the Straits of Malacca, known for Muslim pirates, very dangerous area to go. Another graph that's all showing the global Africa. You've got South America, United States, Africa, Europe again, Australia, all of the drug routes used, all of this stuff. And you've got here, you've got the ISIS, you got Mayor Garcetti, and you got the Sinaloa, Los Zetas drug cartels all working together. It says Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti opens Los Angeles as a sanctuary city to Sinaloa drug cartels working with ISIS and Hezbollah, Islamic terrorists, gold, drugs, murder, fund terrorism in Los Angeles and all America. Latin legal maxim, those who spare the guilty threaten the innocent. What they're doing in Los Angeles, they are sparing the guilty. They're sparing these guys here, the leader of ISIS, Mayor Garcetti, is aiding and abetting the guilty, the drug cartels, and ISIS working to kidnap and kill, sex rings, pedophilia. And Mayor Garcetti is actually aiding and abetting Sinaloa and people of this nature. And it's all done, the golden gun right here, the golden gun. You got gold, golden guns, drugs, drug cartels working with Islamic terrorists, globally violence to get cash. 14 centuries of Islam and drugs beginning with hashish. Nothing is new. And I said that I would show this picture here, this picture right here. And you will see in this corner down here, it's the same picture, and it's got Chuck Schumer, Pelosi, Shirley Jackson Lee, and down here, refugees welcome. Why are they welcome? Well, it's votes for the Democrats, and they don't care if they destroy us or not. Let's go to clip number one. Clip number one.
KPIX 5 News begins with the feds striking back at sanctuary cities, plans for a massive ICE sweep targeting the Bay Area. At least one mayor is saying that she is ready to go to jail. Good evening. I'm Veronica Dela Cruz.
I'm Ken Bassidi in for Alan tonight. KPIX 5 has confirmed that ICE is preparing to arrest more than 1,500 undocumented immigrants in raids all across Northern California. KPIX 5's Phil Mateer reports they will get no help from any Bay Area police.
That's right, Ken. And the issue is twofold. First, who is ICE out there going to pick up? And two, why are they targeting the Bay Area? The answers to both are political, and it has Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf in an uproar. Let's take a listen.
Let me be clear that cities that have sanctuary status are engaging in their legal right.
So you're ready to go to jail over this?
Yes.
For Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf, it's not just that the threat of a major immigration sweep in the Bay Area appears to be in the works. It's the feds taking special aim at sanctuary cities like Oakland, San Francisco, San Jose, who have thumbed their noses at
the job of the federal government is to protect we the people, we the citizens, the people who have gone out and fought for our liberties, for the border. That's a nation. A nation without borders is not a nation. It's a sanctuary city. And you invite, what you do is you invite violence into the community. And that job to protect we the people is the first and primary and seriously the only reason why we have law and the rule of law. So you have a hierarchy of law. You have the community, you have the city, you have the county, you have the state, and you have the Fed. And the smaller the government, they have to operate and control and rule their jurisdiction in accordance with the law at the top. The law at the top is the Constitution of the United States, and that's why the primary duty of the President of the United States is Commander-in-Chief. Commander-in-Chief means protecting we the people. But now you have the cities, because they want to get votes, that they're welcoming in terrorists. They want people to come in and vote who will vote for the Democrats. They don't care if their grandchildren get raped and killed. They don't care if their grandchildren get hooked on ecstasy and shabu and cocaine and all these other horrible drugs. They don't care if their grandchildren are kidnapped and raped. And by the way, in Islam, kidnapping and raping boys and girls is part of Islam. So what did Muhammad do? Clip number two.
California. The economy in Oakland is strong, with a good median household income. However, home to around 50 gangs and a high violent crime rate, Oakland also suffers from high traffic congestion and poor air quality, 190% worse than the national average. 8. New Orleans, Louisiana. The murder capital of the country also has one of the worst.
It's interesting, all the cities that they listed, I started with Oakland because we just watched the mayor of Oakland. Basically, she said, come in, kill my people, kidnap my people, rape my people, come on in to destroy, and I will go to jail to protect the drug cartels and working with the Muslim Brotherhood, ISIS, Taliban, and all these other thugs and murderers. It's horrible. Clip number three.
This program includes material that may not be suitable for all viewers. Discretion is advised. Monday morning, Oakland, California. At the local morgue, it's the busiest day of the week. Mondays are our busiest day.
So the mayor of Oakland, there you have Oakland. That's on Monday morning with the morgue and all these dead people that have overdosed on these different types of drugs and whatnot. Clip number four.
This program shows drugs being made, sold, and used. It features graphic content that may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Antes yo mataba para el ejército. Hoy mato para mi cartel.
Commander X was a member of the Mexican Special Forces. Now he's a hired killer for the world's most powerful drug trafficking organization, the Sinaloa Cartel.
Si tengo que matar, tengo que matarse. Cuando baja el sol es cuando yo salgo a trabajar.
When the cartel wants someone gone, they call Commander X. Whatever the reason, he'll head out onto the streets and hunt his target down.
Nada más bajo el carro, ya traigo el cuerno tiro arriba. Nada más es cuestión de jalar el gatillo, terminar la tarea que empezaste. Bueno, que viene ahí adelante. Sí, yo lo vengo siguiendo.
To avoid police checkpoints, Commander X uses a spotter on a motorcycle to direct him through the city.
Nos van echando aguas a nosotros por donde vamos ya después terminado el trabajo. Ya aquí lo traigo en la mira. Allá va. Tiene que me pone nervioso nada, pues si me entiendes, más concentrado en lo que vas a hacer. ¿Quieres espiar? Que el punto más claro así para atacar es el semáforo. A mí me gusta tirar mucho a la cabeza.
violence, bring them on in. Democratic Party, hey, both parties are guilty. The Republicans are helping them too. We'll talk more about that next time. God bless y'all. Goodbye.